Hey everyone, it's Kevin with Always Halloween. I'm here today to talk about the idea that Halloween could have been the sequel to Black Christmas. Famously, Bob Clark, the director and producer of Black Christmas from 1974, has said in interviews that he was asked by John Carpenter after he had made Black Christmas if he was going to make a sequel to Black Christmas. And Bob Clark talks about how he did have this idea where Billy, or the killer at the time, was going to be sent away to a mental institution. He was going to be caught at the end of Black Christmas 1974. Flash forward, maybe the next year, Billy, or the killer, was going to escape, and he was going to escape the mental institution on Halloween night. And I thought that was a really cool idea that, Bob Clark had talked about. Yeah, I'd probably call it Halloween. Now, famously, he's also said that John Carpenter's movie is John Carpenter's movie. He doesn't feel like he really borrowed anything from him on that. And it was just an idea that Bob Clark had too. So I don't think he was really angry that he thinks John Carpenter stole his idea for Halloween. I will say I do think Halloween was influenced by a lot of things that Black Christmas did in 1974. But you can see how John Carpenter maybe took the concept and made it his own. I want to dive into what happens if Halloween was the sequel to Black Christmas. What would that look like? And I think one of the biggest things right away for me would, instead of having this mass killer like Michael Myers, I would keep him ambiguous again on screen, like in Black Christmas. Billy with the phone calls. I think that would be key to making this sequel right, because one of the scariest things to me about Black Christmas 1974, we don't really see the killer. There are scenes towards the end where Billy, or the killer, I'll call him Billy for this, escapes the attic and he's chasing Jess. And we do see body movements and things like that. Obviously, we see shadows. There's the famous scene of his eye showing. And there's the silhouette scene where he's about to come down on Barb with that statue to kill her. But other than that, we really don't have a great visual on what Billy looks like. So I think that is key in the sequel in this Halloween movie. Don't make him in a mask. Don't make him like a Michael Myers type of figure. I really do like the idea that he has been in a mental institution since Christmas and he's broken out in Halloween. That would be a really cool idea to play with. The second thing is Jess has to be the final girl. And in my opinion, Jess is the best final girl of all time. I really enjoyed her. I think it would be really cool to have seen her in a sequel, because I think we would have got more of her. And how does she develop? How has Black Christmas 1974 affected her? I would love to see that on screen. Is she now, mentally unstable? Is she stronger, and more cut off from the world? Did she quit college and she's working a job in town? She also has to deal with what she did in Black Christmas 1974 and killing the wrong person. So, I would love to see all those consequences and actions play out in a sequel. And I think I would obviously love Billy to come back and stalk Jess. Maybe we do get some similar stalking scenes that happened in Halloween 1978, but instead it's Billy lurking from the bushes, staring at Jess. You know, it's Billy driving by in a car. You know, we get the classic phone calls too that maybe start up. Maybe you have Jess who's mentally unstable and she's afraid to pick up the phone now, and you know, phone calls start up. She has new friends maybe now, or a different friend group that Billy can kind of target as well. So we get Billy going after the friends, and they're getting obscene phone calls, and now Jess is like, oh my god, it's happening again. You know, she goes to the police maybe don't believe her, but then all of a sudden there's the news that Billy escaped the asylum. And so then you have like a manhunt where we get maybe John Saxon's character back. I would have loved to see that play out more too, because he's such a great character actor. We have Detective Fuller, I believe is his name. We get him and Jess working together. You know, where is Billy? Where is he gonna strike? It would be kind of a cool maybe mystery, or maybe you have it on the other end. Detective Fuller no longer works for the police, but he knows Billy's escaped, and he becomes more like a Dr. Loomis type of character, where he's trying to tell the police, hey, Billy's on the loose, you know, we gotta go after him. And the police are all, you know, nah, you know, whatever. And so he's really the one building up Billy, like, you know, we have to be concerned about him. What happened last year was crazy, and you know, we have to treat him like a threat. I think that would be great. You maybe get scenes at the end where he's gone off trying to find Billy, and Billy and Jess have the ultimate final battle. That would be awesome. And maybe you get Detective Fuller comes back towards the end and helps her, and you have something a la Halloween. I think that would be a really cool way to go. You know, do you build a franchise off of this idea? I don't know. I do think there was enough after Black Christmas 1974 to set up a sequel. I really, truly believe that. You know, there wasn't a whole lot that was seen in the end, other than maybe believing that Billy could have killed Jess with that final phone call. But let's say he didn't. Let's say the story played out like this, where Billy was caught and Jess is alive. What would you like to see happen? What would your sequel look like? Would it look something like Halloween? Because I think you could play into that now, where it's Halloween out, trick-or-treaters. You know, maybe we do get Billy with a mask and trick-or-treating idea, but that's the only time we really see him. Otherwise, he's off screen and making phone calls and things like that. So I think there's a lot to play with too with the Halloween environment this time around. Obviously, aesthetic-wise, I think Bob Clark did such a great job with Black Christmas in making it feel like the Christmas spirit, the lights, but also very cold. With this one, maybe he can do a Halloween aesthetic, and, you know, you have that crisp fall air, leaves everywhere. You know, I really trust Bob Clark to make a sequel, and I would love to see that play out. But what are your thoughts? Would you have liked to see a sequel to Black Christmas 1974? What would your thoughts be on it being Halloween and set in Halloween, and Billy and Jess? I mean, this is something that I think we should have seen at least a sequel for. Do you want to see a franchise off of it? Like, you know, a Black Christmas franchise, I guess? Or, I mean, if you call the second one Halloween, do you maybe go Easter, St. Patty's Day? I don't know. I'm just kidding. But I think there was at least enough material for a sequel to Black Christmas, and it would have been cool, I think, to see it play out as Halloween. Unfortunately, we didn't get that, but we did get John Carpenter's Halloween, which is my favorite movie of all time, so I can't complain. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. This has been Always Halloween.